It just said Circleville.
No, I
swear to God, it just said Circleville.
What?
Fear me.
Adam?
My name is Adam, and for the last decade, I have been restructuring how we investigate the paranormal.
I've been told there are demons here. I don't even believe in that.
My obsession with hauntings has led to my ownership of two of our country's historical and most haunted locations. I rewrote the paranormal grid by partnering with some of the most influential investors in order to save buildings' histories from destruction. Along this journey, my friends and I will recreate events of the past.
It doesn't have to be like this! It doesn't have to be this way!
In order to awaken the dead.
I love you!
And bridge the gap between science and psychic phenomena. So follow me as we continue to find and call the resident undead. But this is it right here, the Octagon House. There is similarity between Billy Creek Village and this. And we just got back from Billy Creek Village, and that's the first time we've ever investigated a place where the structures were brought to the new property. Same story with this. So we can already tell from what happened at Billy Creek Village that the haunting moves with the property. And this gets into stone tape theory. Because it's not just necessarily attached to the land, the energies are attached into the brick, into the wood, and it was moved with that. All right, so we know that these hauntings exist. I want to dig farther because it's almost like taking Billy Creek Village a little bit farther.
That's kind of interesting though, because you have to look at both the haunting of the land and the haunting of the property, and how much of the haunting is part of this land and how much of it was absorbed on the other land that it came from.
Exactly.
That's fascinating.
And it's like the Civil War house at Billy Creek Village.
Wow. Injury.
Yeah, grab him.
No, wait.
What?
Where's your injury?
The haunting to that mixed with the land. Same thing with this. The land's going to be stained with its echoes. Now you got the property on top of it. So what is going to communicate here? But what's going to be different about all of this? I'm going to set up with the guys. Eric and Dave are going to be showing up. Chris is coming later. Jeff's coming later. I want you to go back to the White House and just focus on this, right? We're not going to walk in. This is as much as you're going to see until darkness falls. All right?
Cool.
The Octagon House. Constructed in 1856 by George Gregg, its unique look was modeled after the original Pickaway County Courthouse that's unfortunately no longer standing. With over 10 rooms within its walls, a cupola to oversee the surrounding farmland, and having a beautiful spiral staircase in its direct center, it was an absolute engineering marvel of its time. Serving as a farmhouse for several decades, it would eventually run into turmoil in the early 2000s when a developer bought the land it sat on. Conservation efforts by the Roundtown Conservancy succeeded, and the Octagon House was lifted with an advanced hydraulic mechanism from its original location and moved less than a mile away to where it still sits today.
All right, right now we are outside of the Octagon House in Circleville, Ohio. Chris hasn't arrived yet, and guess what's gonna happen when Chris shows up? Guess. Take a guess. What is gonna happen when Chris shows up?
We're gonna investigate.
No, what's gonna happen, Eric? What's gonna happen to Chris?
Quarantine.
Quarantine right away.
Right away, right out the gate.
Well, he's just gonna throw right into it. He loves that, actually. He did say that he's a huge fan of just being thrown into a building. He has no idea of what's happening. Well, we're gonna get you inside. We got something. We're gonna throw you right into a quarantine.
No, why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't
you?
As you guys see, Becca's with me right now. We have Uncle Jeff. Eric's gonna help us run in there. And we have Addie watching over the building right now. There you go, now you can see her. She's watching over the building right there, as you can see. Mr. Woolover in the back. All right. So let's head in right now. You see it's so muddy.
Oh my God.
Do you know why we're hurrying, guys? Because there is a thunderstorm coming. And
No way.
yeah.
That might be good.
Oh, it's gonna be great. Sucky for us, but we're gonna get in there before the thunderstorm goes. And Jeff, you have one of your boxes with you. Yes. Let's fire it up and see what happens. So just so we're clear, you know nothing about this house.
Right.
Just that the shape's odd. Jeff, where are your boxes at? Right in here. Let's step you into this room for a second, Becca, and then just give us a read of anything that jumps out at you.
The energy feels incredibly grounded and clean. It's almost like the way that this is constructed keeps... The energy is very smooth in a way that it shouldn't be. Like, usually old places like this have layers and layers, and I'm sure there are layers that I could reach for if I wanted to, but it's almost like I get a similar feeling like this when I go to churches that are regularly occupied, not like unholy churches, like Saddamsville, but...
Stop, cut it.
When I go to churches, they have like a regular movement of energy, so it feels very clean and calm and grounded. That's what the space initially feels like. The construction itself, the pattern, it's almost like the pattern moves the energy in a way that is very old.
Well, yeah, now Jeff, do you know why this house was built the way it was?
My understanding is they built these Octagon houses to, sort of like a protection. There's no straight corners, like a pinwheel effect. It's to radiate in a circular pattern, but it's in an octagon shape. The same as this beautiful staircase that winds up. It's not your normal average staircase.
I got chills when you started describing that.
It's almost like the pattern moves the energy in a way that is very old.
Because I've read a little bit about this already, obviously, but it was built a certain way, exactly how you're saying. And there are other Octagon houses out there, but it was built just the way you were describing. That's so interesting that you're picking up on the flow of energy.
That also explains some things that I was dreaming about last night, so that this is gonna be really interesting, because I've never been to an investigation as a paranormal investigator that attracts a very old grounded energy, which means there are also very old spirits that I was dreaming about, like very protective spirit. It's so interesting. I can't wait to see what happens. Mm-hmm. I think you're gonna get a lot of like older, more ancient stuff that comes through.
Yeah.
Well, let's fire up the box. Let's see what happens. Right. Oh, wait a second. Is this the Kimmel box?
Yes.
I don't think this has really been shown in a shoot. Let me turn this light off for a second.
It has been shown.
Oh, there we go. Now it's all the way on.
Right. Now we can see how.
If there is anyone here with us, this is going to sound odd. Please talk to the box with my face in it. It is a phone.
So, I think what would be helpful is if you explained what your intention is and why you even are bothering to communicate with the other side. Mm-hmm. That would make a really big difference, because it doesn't make sense.
Jeff is the kindest soul here. Jeff, can you, like you always do, can you explain to them what we're about to do?
We're just here to talk to you tonight and to see your beautiful house and just see if there's anything we can do for you. We're just going to sort of be hanging out tonight. Earlier you told me this is your house, so we'll respect your house.
What? What? Is it all right if we bring another friend up here? His name's Chris. He's going to be here in a few minutes. Can I bring him up here alone to talk to you? He's from Indiana.
No.
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 No. You're doing a terrific job. We're still going to bring Chris up here. He's going to be here any second.
Okay, I have an image to record just in case it becomes relevant. Men playing cards. I don't know if it means as the cards fall or if it literally is inviting men to play cards.
Oh.
Right. Oop. Well, that might be Chris.
Chris, yep. Look at that. Look at that. Right on time. Chris Musgrove. Hang on.
Hey, brother, I'm here. I
Yep.
was making sure I wasn't going to get stuck in the mud pit.
No, guess what, man? We're inside. We're just wrapping up. It's time for your quarantine.
Oh, guess what? Okay, guess what? I made a wrong turn. I'm about an hour away.
Made a wrong turn an hour away.
A quarantine is the part of the night where each of us will be isolated in some of the location's most highly active areas. The concept is simple. Since we believe some spirits are intimidated by our numbers, this will give them the opportunity to feel less threatened.
Sound like a rock was just thrown out there.
There is something unique about throwing Chris in immediately upon his arrival,
Oh, you had all this planned out, huh?
and hopefully we'll capitalize on that here again.
So we just gotta stay away from the stairwell? Oh, look at that shit already.
Yes.
Look at that shit.
Coming right up. That was cool.
What was that? We're not even near that thing. That does not have a range of that. We're all the way up at the top. Oh!
It's going down now.
Uh-huh. All right, good. Very
You
good.
didn't stop that camera down there.
All right. Both recorders are running.
Well, you already know what time it is then, don't you?
There it is. Sorry again, man. Like, right out the car and doing this.
Right out the car,
3-hour
drive.
Bam!
Let's go.
And don't worry, we'll guide you through base. We'll tell you a little bit about this place.
Okay, because I have no clue. Motion detectors are off for the record, and he is out.
Motion detectors are off for the record. He is out. He is out.
Can I bring him up here alone to talk to you? He's from Indiana. No? No.
Well, hello, if you can hear my voice, my name's Chris. I've never been here before.
I've never been here before.
I heard that in the other room. Big knock.
Big knock.
So, Chris, first bit of detail. This is an old farmhouse.
Okay. I got some questions for you. Can you come up here and talk to me, please?
What are you picking up on?
A man, and a child his child seems to have passed, because I keep getting, I miss my son. Now here's a little bit of backstory. I was having a hard time truly communicating with any spirits here. I could feel the energy was different, but I couldn't quite dig in, so I had to draw, like I used to way back. I miss my son. I think that this boy died because he keeps saying, go with God, he's with God. And then it started to get more frantic the more I dug in. This was a house of love, and then goodbye drop, goodbye
He's
drop.
catching on something. I'm sorry, say again, Chris, what happened?
No, I just kept hearing tapping come from this room, like tapping on the wall.
I cannot see him. The only way that I can connect with the spirit is through this.
Mm-hmm.
This has never happened to me before, where I literally can't just use my mind. This man is upset, but is trying very hard not to be upset, because he is a man of deep faith. So he is trying very hard to make his peace with God and say, my son is with God. He's trying not to be angry that he lost his son.
Mm-hmm.
And the more I feel that emotion, the more this is starting to ramp up.
Adam, it sounds like somebody just walked in the house and walking right underneath me.
No, that's crazy. We're all at base right now.
That's me walking. Hey, listen, I hear you down there. Come up here. Just got chilled from head to toe. That sense of darkness has come in the room.
This is ramping up the more that I dig into this emotion of, it's not even anger. It's trying very hard not to be angry.
Sound like a rock was just thrown out there.
I heard that.
We heard that. We heard it.
Every time I get in a room with 3 or 4 doors on it, start feeling surrounded.
Becca's been picking up on possibly a man talking about he lost his son.
Can you tell me your son's name?
This man is already doing something really impossible. Moving through grief with that kind of composure is impossible.
Mm-hmm.
So if he can do that, he can do anything.
What is she picking up on now, Adam? All those footsteps I was hearing, everything just stopped.
It's interesting, she's still picking up on this gentleman that lost his son. She's impressed because he's keeping his composure about such a dramatic incident.
He's also a man of faith.
Well, that must be why he's keeping his composure then. Because I don't know what I would do if I lost my son.
I searched good by drop, and it says good at the drop of a hat without hesitation, delay, or preparation instantly.
Without any hesitation, preparation.
Instantly, so maybe his son died
Oh, like
very quickly.
in a good way.
I think whoever was here got scared and left.
That's all right. We're gonna come pick you up and set it for the next phase.
Let's do it.
After this, I decided we should dig farther into the haunting by conducting a dueling Estes method. For this, both Jeff and Chris will be put onto separate floors of the house. Each will have a set of headphones on that will be tied directly into a Fent box. Becca and myself will be back at the truck asking questions to see if we can get their answers to coordinate with our questions.
What? Did you come with us to the Octagon house?
That was weird. It sounded like Adam's voice just come through, like he was talking on the walkie-talkie on this.
We'll go through.
We'll go through.
Weird. It sounded like
You can't.
Adam's voice just come through, like he was talking on the walkie-talkie on this.
What? That's just noise canceling. The aux cord is plugged into the radio. We've no radios going. What?
Did you follow? It's an answer. Did you follow us? Yes.
Are
it's
you?
an affirmation.
Did you follow us?
And then your voice comes through.
Yes.
Followed you.
Fear me.
Adam.
Do you understand? We're the ones asking the
I'm in
questions.
charge.
Okay.
Keep hearing a little kid.
All right. So anybody who's not from here, please take a step back. Thank you very much.
It's ancient.
I think you're gonna get a lot of like older, more ancient stuff that comes through.
Yeah.
The person who referenced ancient, can you tell Jeff what you told her?
That's who.
I just heard don't do it. I just heard don't do it.
This is trippy.
Where are you? Oh my gosh, that sounded like it was just like next to me.
We would like to communicate with.
Where are you? Oh my gosh, that sounded like it was just like next to me.
We're in the big truck outside, the big car.
I could yell.
I could have swore it just said to the RV.
That's not from this house to know that.
No way.
They're not from here.
That's a ghost hunter.
You would have never.
Male voice said they hear.
Me? And Rust.
This is interesting.
It's kind of weird because you're seeing them like, in a sense, it bounces off a little bit. Whoever's downstairs is completely acknowledged Chris.
Can you speak to both of them at the same time and say something that is relevant? Can you do that? Say something to both of them that you want us to know.
For sure.
My brain is shaking.
Dude, this is a lot to take in.
Died.
Okay.
Imagine that.
Female just said he has died.
It's Communication has just ceased.
Email just said he has died.
What?
Shame. Bad guys.
Here.
And he's like, dead. Imagine that.
It worked.
It worked. It worked, dude. I think it takes a while for them to understand how this works. I know. That's big right there. That's big right there.
Thank you.
With this experiment yielding beyond interesting responses and correlations, we decided to end our first night's investigation. We'd regroup early the next day to a thunderstorm rolling in, but as soon as darkness fell, we'd re-enter and begin doing multiple bursts of active EVP.
We are beginning night 2 inside the Octagon house. We had a crazy night last night, but at least we've come back, we're fresh, we're ready to do this. As you already know, Becca, you're still here. Chris.
Let's
All
do
right.
it.
So what we're gonna do, let's walk around. We need to understand what happened last night. There was so much to dissect, and I know you were under with the headphones, but trust me, it was wild. So we're gonna walk around, and I do have one of our recorders with us, and let's go fishing. Let's see if we can get anyone to talk to us, okay?
Let's go.
On the count of 3. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and talk to us. Ending EVP, ending.
Edison.
What?
Yeah, clear as day.
You heard someone say Edison?
Yep.
All right. Did you hear that knock upstairs? I don't think our audio caught it. I'm not sure, but it was like that was like a distinct on the floor like knock. All right, Chris, I'm gonna play this back.
1, 2, 3. Go ahead and talk to us.
There's a lot of like
Choppy.
choppy at the end. I can hear a full sentence being
Yeah.
said, but I'm trying to
It's
pick
definitely
out.
something on there, you know.
You guys didn't hear that?
What'd you hear? Footsteps?
I thought I heard like a woman say something. Like right behind us. I don't know if it was screaming.
Well, I
or
kept hearing, when we was doing the EVP session, I kept hearing tapping from that room.
tapping from there.
I think, yeah, I was looking that way a few times.
Let's go back over there. Something, I don't know, maybe I was just hearing something. It sounded like it was like in the distance, like ah. If you're not from here, can you say where you're from when I give you the count of 3? Let's see if we can understand that. If you're not from here, tell us where you're from, okay? So someone who's not from here, come forward. If you are from here, then just say Octagon. Then we'll know you're from here. If you're not, please give the name of the location or the best description you can. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Where are you from? Ending EVP, ending.
I think I got something. Because my eyes did something funky. Farm me.
Farm me.
I don't know. I think I may have missed something in between there. But farm me.
Okay, something about farming and me.
Yeah.
Chris will play this back again. Let's see what happened.
1, 2, 3. Where are you from?
It might have, I thought it said in the middle somewhere, Octagon.
Octagon in there?
We'll see.
Octagon.
Yeah,
Octagon.
Yeah.
Octagon. So we got a domestic. Okay. All right. That's a domestic right there. Good. Like if we hear Octagon, obviously when we review it closer, everyone at home will hear our best shot of that, but that's going to be a review. Let's do, we got to go upstairs.
Yeah, we got to.
All right. Again, we are hearing your voices. We are definitely hearing you. And I apologize. Sometimes it comes in very softly and no one has used this here before. So I understand. I'm expecting this and you were doing a great job still. We can hear you talking though, and the more we keep using this, you will get better. Here we go again. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Ending EVP, ending. All right, Chris, let's play this back, see what we got. All right.
1, 2, 3.
Definitely heard that.
There's Adam in there.
Conversation.
It's a conversation. Yeah. The problem is, and again for everybody watching, like by the time you see my best guess, it's been analyzed. In the moment, it's hard because on a computer you can keep listening back, and I just keep looping and looping.
With headphones on.
With headphones on and stuff. So this is gonna be tricky for us in this moment. But Adam was clear. There's definitely Adam in that. It was Adam.
After this, we'd set up Rebecca's quarantine.
Oh my God. Do you guys have the feed still at base?
Yes, we do.
We're halfway.
All right, we are recording. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, good luck.
Thanks.
Everything's running. Yeah, just give me about just a moment here to get back. Okay.
Adam's energy often like eclipses spaces and makes it a little harder to see, so.
Wait a second, is that a train going by?
I believe it is.
Hey, Becca, do you hear a train?
Yeah. You know, I have to mark this. The energy with the train is actually probably the most intense energy that I feel here. Like it feels like the space gets more uncomfortable whenever a train is going by. I just had a vision of a woman. The woman with the long dark hair, very thin face. And she has a key pressed into her palm. And she just said, this key opens that. And she pointed, but there's nothing in here really for her to have pointed to.
Oh, that's really strange.
Do you see what that says? I don't know what it means. It's probably there from a prior. It says find the secret entrance, but I hadn't seen that yet when I had that vision.
Wow.
Okay, there are weird note cards around the place. Like,
I've noticed that.
yeah. Addie, do you remember what some of them say?
At the back of that,
Okay.
in the room that she's in, at the back to the right, is the door that's padlocked that leads up to get to the cupola.
Oh!
Oh my God. That's what the key was for.
Right. Hey, Becca.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look around the room around the corner. Is that the room with the padlock on it? There's a door with a padlock.
I don't know. You want me to go over there?
To the left of you,
It's me walking. Oh, yeah. I don't have to say it's me walking.
No, stay in the room,
Okay.
Now look to your camera right.
Oh yeah, I don't need to use that.
Yeah, walk towards the stat cam.
Yeah.
Is there a door to your back left now?
Camera's going everywhere.
There's like a closet, and there is like a...
Right there.
Wow.
Look at that.
All right, well, I'm uncomfortable now because I don't know what any of this means.
Fix your cam. Fix your cam. Collect it.
Oh, sorry.
She's going in zone.
It's Blair Witch right now.
Yeah, it's left field.
There you go. Collect the camera for a second. Okay, now look. That is the entrance to the cupola.
That's really interesting. That I didn't know that. Okay. It just kind of hits different whenever you're alone in a building and you have a vision, and then that kind of thing that's weird. I realize that I am an intruder in this space. My name's Becca, and I'm really just here to hear your story.
I'm really just here to hear your story.
I haven't seen her do that in years.
Wow.
Her eyes rolled back into her head.
Yes, they did. They fluttered.
Dude, the last time
believe.
I fucking saw that was House of Wills.
Yeah, House
that
of
same
Wills.
kind of
Exactly what I
flicker.
was
That's
gonna
dude. That's the same. That's the last time I've ever seen it. The whole. So what do we do? What do we do?
Do we have any?
I want to get her out of the building. We gotta get her out of the building. Get her out of the building. Here, just grab her. Go.
I just felt an energy of acknowledgement. The world moved a little bit beneath me. A rush of adrenaline that's not mine.
Good.
You've been investigating with me for years. I just got a name. Never get names. Mary.
I think she's onto something with that train and the energy. I don't understand it yet, but it's almost like it activates the house to pull. Like that sound triggers it.
Okay, well that was strange. No, don't go.
Now, we do not have access to that cupola.
Okay, well that was strange. No, don't go.
Wow. And I was just about to say,
Yes.
why do we not have access to the cupola? It's damaged
Yeah,
upstairs.
'cause you can't.
Wow, she has no idea. She didn't walk through when they were talking about this stuff, like the ground rules.
Wow.
That's good.
So there was a sense of like somebody trying to communicate, somebody that seemed startled, but the communication just dropped out. It's completely quiet right now.
Communication just dropped out. It's pretty quiet.
That was weird. I thought maybe it was me making a noise with like the camera cord. I just heard like a dragging sound across the floor. I'm just gonna mark this beat. I don't know what it means or if it's even relevant. He keeps saying there is no floor.
I mean,
Thinking back.
Well-
Correlates with anything that.
they lost the basement, the original basement. It was moved. They have their first floor. That's weird. There's no floor.
I swear to you, I hear boots on the ground downstairs, like feet, like footsteps.
But that floor
be close to
comment,
her.
I wonder if there's like an initial shock.
Right.
Like when that house is being moved, what is going on inside the building?
That's true.
He said, with my hands, so he built something with his hands.
Like I don't want to interrupt,
I know.
but I wanted to ask.
Let's
I wanted her to ask one thing before she walks out.
Okay.
We already got the one EVP of Octagon downstairs. Someone confirm. Can we do a double confirmation?
Ooh.
Like, just tell us again where you're from.
There you
Just to
go.
see. Let it sit. Where are you from? Becca, not to interrupt, but before you're done here in the next minute or so, I just had one question for you to ask them.
Sure.
If you could ask them, anyone in your proximity, where are you from?
Yeah, it's a good question.
I'm going to ask you a question that's really important to our investigation here tonight. Where are you from? Are you from this house? Did you come with us? Where are you from?
Did you come with us? Where are you from?
It formed in my mind as I am a reflection of you, which makes me think it's a weird way of saying I came with you.
A weird way of saying I came with you.
Hang on, what we're gonna do, SB7 speaker, so we can hear it, go old school on it.
Okay.
Let's see what happens.
Do that.
Yeah.
Good idea.
For quite some time now, we believe some of our investigations have been contaminated by spirits that are following us. By owning the Madison Seminary and Fairfield County Infirmary, along with having several partnerships with other locations, it's not hard to contemplate how this could happen. Last night, we were slightly suspicious that our investigation was being contaminated by a haunting that is outside of this location. And we want to finally confront this burning question. So our next plan of action is to go back inside with an SB7 and see if we can get some answers.
Holy
Dude, it just said Sedansville.
No, I
I
missed
swear to God, it just said Sedansville.
No.
If you did follow us, which one of us did you come with?
Adam, I heard that. Adam. Interesting. Where did you follow me from? Evil.
Wow, and it was deep. It was a deep male's voice,
Yeah.
too.
It was very...
Some of it.
Those... Holy...
Dude, it just said Sedansville.
No, I
I
missed
swear
it.
to God, it just said Sedansville.
No, I missed it. I was looking up.
Mark the
We'll
time.
have to
We
mark
gotta
it.
watch
Hang on,
this.
mark the time. 15:25.
Swear to God, wait till you go back.
15:25.
It does.
The train. I heard the train in there. I know. Say it.
Do you know what I'm about to say?
Say it,
There
yeah.
was a train where Father MacLeod was.
He got hit by it.
Right.
And it was, remember, at Sedumsville?
Oh my God.
Dude.
That's right.
Because I just scouted the place because Sedumsville's up for sale. I was just there like 3 days ago. Right?
If you could see me, dude, I'd be...
And it's weird about the correlations of the trains.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm covered in chills too, dude. Like,
Yes, it is.
Ah.
He got killed, so
Wait, I think it said father.
At the end of the day, and I cannot emphasize this enough, there is no receipt to an EVP. We will never fully know who's talking on the other end, but with what we've just heard here, it would appear an older attachment from the Sedumsville Rectory has joined us. With this new knowledge, I'd immediately jump into my quarantine. Are we collecting an entourage of spirits?
All right, getting ready to run our recorders. Recorders are running. All right, I am back. Just minutes ago,
Oh, okay, that was
Chris and
interesting.
Becca were here with
A
me.
really uncomfortable
And
feeling
over
in
our
my
boss,
chest.
Okay.
We could hear your voice, and multiple times you said, Adam. So I am here. You have me for 20 minutes.
That's mediumship.
Let's
That's
talk.
accidental mediumship. I don't
Use
like
the
to do
phones
that.
down here. They're right on the steps. Let's talk. And you can use the phones down here. They're right on the steps.
Kimmel, I just want to mark that I had an experience where my chest got really, really tight, and I think that it is acknowledging, the spirit acknowledging his presence.
Okay. I'm trying to understand the more we do this, and it's been a lot of years now, are we collecting an entourage of spirits and you're wanting to talk to us at the locations? And is that hijacking us from speaking to the domestic haunting? So I'm going to ask this again. Did you follow me?
Okay, so my answer to that question would be yes, because of the way that his energy just interacted with the space.
Yeah.
His energy flares when something negative comes into it, kind of like a bug zapper, to just push it back out. He's got a lot of protective stuff.
Yeah.
So it makes me think that since this domestic haunting is incredibly peaceful and faithful, makes me think that it was something negative answering with a yes.
Okay.
But one that he did not feel. But it will be interesting to see the playback of the recorders to see if there was
something caught
any audio.
And I can't tell if that was the wind. Like something just dragged across the floor in the room over to the left. Man, I'm covered in chills, dude. I am covered in chills.
Kimmel, so your energy just kicked something out. Whenever you asked for who it was, you rejected the answer. So I'm thinking that it is an answer. Sorry. Can you hear me?
Did your walkie die?
Hello?
That's super
Fucking, you know where that is? That's a fucking House of Wills. This is the only other time that's ever happened.
Or you tell him, because I can't touch it.
The battery's about to die. He's right behind you. He said, you are almost mine.
God. So we're not allowed to tell him.
I can't hear you anymore.
House of Wills.
House of Wills?
Do you remember we're not allowed to tell him walkies kept dying? It's the same thing! Holy shit, it's literally like deja vu! What the f? Can you hear me? It's f***ing the
House of Wills.
Holy shit.
Remember what I told you earlier? When Megan's eyes rolled back? I said, when was the last time I saw that? It was the House of Wills. At the very end of the night, her eyes rolled back.
What is happening?
I've not seen her eyes roll back like that since. Dude, the last time I fucking saw that was House of Wills.
Yeah, House
that
of
same
Wills.
kind of
Exactly
flicker. Dude, that's the same. That's the last time I've ever seen it. The whole.
Whoa! Holy
I
shit!
that,
I cannot believe this is happening. This is unbelievable.
I'm on channel 1010. If you're grabbing a new walkie, 1010 low.
10 low.
Oh, the battery came back. It's on 10.
No, the battery's dead.
The battery keeps dying though.
I'm just gonna go acapella. Why did you follow me here?
Why did you follow me here?
That's the House of Wills and Sedumsville Rectory, two incredibly dark hauntings.
Dark.
I've been told. I've had demons. Demons come after me. I'm not impressed. If you're gonna impress me, I need your voice.
Which makes me think
correlations with.
we need to push and see if Velisca will come through. Because it seems to be his darkest shit is what's talking.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been following me?
How long have you been following me?
You think they're gonna spark up?
Hey, does
Some of them do.
does anyone know the name of this doll that I'm having a birthday cake with?
Crazy, but no, other than that. Hey, I have a theory.
Okay.
So when you were talking about dragging, do you remember at Circleville whenever you threw a noose around Chris's neck and dragged him across the floor?
There are some things you don't forget.
I figured you would say something like that. And you're right. I can't.
So that's Circleville, the House of Wills, try Villisca, see what happens.
Wait, what?
Your two darkest hauntings that you've encountered are following you. The only other one I can think of would be Villisca.
What if it's wrong that the octagon shape doesn't confuse? It's the living that tried to do it, thinking it would confuse the dead and make the energy clean. We don't know that for a fact. You said earlier the energy was spiraling.
It's almost like the pattern moves the energy in a way that is very old.
You've never said that about a place before. Oh my God, I'm covered in chills. What if they got it wrong? What if oh man, I'm covered in like head to toe in chills. Okay, I'm onto something. What if this octagon shape is more of a charge for it?
Adam, it's missing pieces.
What do you mean it's missing pieces?
The original structure is incorrect and inaccurate. It's missing its foundation. It's missing the bottom piece. He keeps saying there is no floor.
It is. It's been moved. This whole structure has been compromised from an energy level, a level of energy. If you are following me, does this structure make it very easy for you to talk to me?
Does this structure make it very easy for you to talk to me?
I do know that things are following me. I know that I made whatever at Villisca is there very angry. I want you to know, Reverend Kelly, we've heard the EVPs several times. God forgives. We do not. We're going to do this hard, and what you're about to see is going to bastardize your dream. I made a priest at Circleville very angry. Before this night's over, you will confess. And we're talking about psychological warfare. I know that things are following me. Maybe this was it. This was what made it easy.
We have one more creepy realization here at base. Possibly, if Villisca's murderer was like a religious figure, everything that's following you is religious.
You picked up on my quarantine when I first got here about a man of faith being here. You remember that?
This man is upset, but is trying very hard not to be upset because he is a man of deep faith.
Is it because I leaned away from religion? Is it a vendetta? Are you trying to prove something to me?
Are you trying to prove something to me?
He just got drained.
Did he?
Did you just feel your energy drain?
Bad.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Dude, I just felt it all drain down in the last minute. Like, it's like this camera feels like it's 100 pounds to hold right now. And we do this all the time. There is a pain in my back. I just feel like I'm sinking into, I'm being pulled into the ground. Literally, I feel like I'm being pulled into the ground.
That's what I was about to say.
Touch the ground, because what is wrong with this structure is it's not connected to the ground. So visualize pulling energy up from the ground, and I bet you money you'll feel instantly better. Because what would happen is the energy has to come up from the earth and spiral up to, oh my God, it all makes sense. I had that vision of the cloud with the water dropping down and flooding. So what's happening is the flood isn't leaving. The energy is not grounded.
Talking about the energy being spiraled in.
Yeah.
I did feel better. The minute I touched the ground and I held it there for a second, like the pain in my back is now gone. Like it's gone. And I don't feel like it's all heavy being pulled down right now.
And I don't feel like it's all heavy being pulled down right now.
After investigating the paranormal for 12 years, I'm always left with more questions than answers. Every investigation we conduct is another chapter added to a never-ending story. The Octagon house reconfirmed what we learned at Billy Creek Village, that the hauntings do indeed move with the physical location. But we've also confirmed that we do indeed have an entourage that's following us. This will create future complications of domestic versus foreign, but what better place to continue our adventure than going back to the location that started it all? You've heard the saying, all roads lead to Villisca.